Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our journey, where we show you the absolutely beautiful Northern Nevada and Northern California area, and get to see why we are so grateful to live in such a beautiful area. During this journey, we will travel across state lines to show you numerous lakes, rivers, and creeks, all with different purposes, including providing us and many others with usable water for everyday needs. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as Leo takes us to Galena Creek to explain.
This waterfall is the result of melting of snow. It's the beginning, or you could say the origin, of Galena Creek watershed. Over there, it's the beginning of a little marsh that will eventually go down through the mountain and into the valley of Reno. That will eventually get into the Truckee River, which will eventually terminate at Pyramid Lake. So what I'm trying to say is your water that you drink at home is originating all the way from up here at 9,000 feet of elevation. I mean, we have this beautiful snow that takes all summer to melt. It's clean, it's beautiful, and you could even just eat it. Shout out Chucky Meadows tap water guys for cleaning it up though. On to the next one. This is the beautiful Middle Fork Feather River near Portola, California. This river is created by an underground aquifer. Near Beckworth, just a few miles upstream, as well as reliable surface runoff. Beautiful mountains. This river is designated a wild and scenic river, meaning it is almost untouched by human civilization for most of its range. This river is different compared to the Truckee River because the Truckee terminates in a lake, Pyramid Lake, while this river eventually drains into the ocean. Before this beautiful ecosystem was altered by man-made dams and reservoirs, this river was home to anadromous fish such as steelhead and salmon. Lake Oroville is a reservoir created by a hydroelectric dam to supply power as well as water to cities like Sacramento. This means that if there's low snowpack all the way up here, it can seriously affect big cities like Sacramento hundreds of miles downriver. On to the next video. This is beautiful Lake Tahoe. This lake is the start of the Truckee River watershed. The Truckee River flows from here all the way to its terminus in Pyramid Lake. This lake provides drinking water for hundreds of thousands of people. It also is a great spot for recreation, bringing lots of money into the state of Nevada. But too much human impact can be a bad thing. A nearby golf course puts fertilizer into this lake, causing eutrophication. This leads to this horrible algae bloom, which is bad for these geese. It depletes the oxygen levels and is horrible for wildlife. Do not put your big gulp in the lake.
Go.
In the recycling bin it goes.
In a study conducted by the American Society of Civil Engineers at Lake Tahoe, they found that increased tourist activity in the mid-20th century at Lake Tahoe through water recreation, ski resorts, and casinos led to introduced pollutants through stormwater runoff. This decreased the clarity by almost 60 feet by the year 2000.
Today we're here at the Little Truckee River. Up this way to the north side of this river, we have the Stampede Reservoir. This reservoir is created by the Stampede Dam. The Stampede Dam is used for multiple things, such as power production, water diversion, and water flow. This water flow is obviously important for, controlling fish and water supply. So once it's released into the Little Truckee River, it makes its way to the Boca Reservoir, which is another reservoir created by a man-made dam, which does the same things: water diversion, water supply, and fishing. That water eventually makes its way into the Truckee River. The Truckee River, like I said before, goes to Pyramid Lake after being used for water supply in Reno, Nevada. So your water that you get in your tap can be sourced from here. And let's go to the next location.
This is the Truckee River. This river provides us with our drinking water, our shower water, dishwashing water, and water to wash our clothes with. This river is life. So many animals depend on this river for habitat and food. It is just beautiful across its whole length. However, there are some spots where the negative effects of humanity are all too visible. Look at this plastic bag. That is just disgusting. This bag probably came from a landfill less than a mile away. These landfills, although they do so much good, they can be an extreme problem for watersheds across the U.S. Pollutants that just seep into the ground and into the watershed from rain, they can just increase turbidity, which is extremely harmful to all the animals who use these base watersheds for life. On to the next one. Let's put this where it belongs.
Frick yeah.
In an article by Sierra Nevada Ally, they explained that non-point source pollution in the Truckee River accumulates like a snowball rolling downhill, growing with every rotation. This shows that we must keep pollutants out of the Truckee River as much as we can through surface runoff.
Heck yeah.
So, through this whole series, we've talked about many times Pyramid Lake being a terminal point in this watershed. And so here, let's talk about it again. Pyramid Lake is considered a saline lake.
Yeah.
And it's because it's pretty salty. It has a little salty taste to it. It's actually 1/6 as salty as the ocean. And the reason for this is because it has no exit points. The only way the water's getting out of here is through evaporation and seepage. The reason why there's even salt in the first place is by sediment accumulation. All that water from the mountains and the valley takes sediments, including, salt, calcium, stuff like that, and it makes its way to this lake. Because of that, it's actually not drinkable, this water. It's considered a dangerous water source. So the people who live here, they use groundwater. That's the only fresh water they can find here. So these minerals and salt in this lake, you can even see them on the shore. Follow me. Look at this big piece of just mineral deposit. This is calcium salt. It's just extremely crazy how this forms over millions of years. All right. Pyramid Lake is also considered a drought indicator. You can see on just these rocks here, you can see the lines that indicate how high the lake actually used to be. You can see how low it is now. It's probably been lower before. And so scientists are able to look at this lake and say, well, this is how much water this area is getting due to how high it is. The University of Nevada recently conducted a study on Perry Canyon acid mine drainage into Pyramid Lake and water wells surrounding area. This acid mine drainage releases sulfates which can affect local tribes' water sources. The research found that the sulfate has yet to make it to any water wells or Pyramid Lake and is 1.5 miles away from doing so. If it does make it, it will affect the water wells and their ability to provide water to local tribes. Something must be done or else they'll die.
Each and every body of water shown in this video is essential to all humans and living organisms that share our land. Because of this, we must make sure that we reduce the impact of our water footprint, because water is based and water is life.
Heck yeah, amen.
Let's go.
It took you that long to get that short of